5:30. I'd just like to welcome everybody to our Devonport City Council meeting for Monday, 25th of August 2025. I will say that Devonport City Council acknowledges and pays respects to the Palawa Pakina people as the traditional and original owners of Lutruwita and continuing custodians of this land in which we gather. And we also acknowledge and pay our respects to the Tasmanian Aboriginal elders past and present. Welcome to my councillors here tonight. We do have one apology, which is Councillor Cherry Guinness tonight. All persons in attendance, are advised that it is council policy to record council meetings in accordance with council's digital recording policy. The digital recording of this meeting will be made available to the public on council's website for a minimum period of 6 months. The meeting will also be live streamed on council's YouTube channel. Declarations of interest. Are there any from the councillors here tonight?
Thank you,
Councillor
Mayor.
Martin?
Yes, item 5.2, declare that I'm involved with the Devonport Readers Cup, as well as through my work, National Job League, with the Eastern Jobs Forum.
Thank you. You're staying in the room.
Yes.
Thank you. Any other declarations of interest from the councillors? Thank you. Moving right along. Item 3, procedural. So 3.1 is confirmation of minutes. If I could have a mover, please.
So moved.
Thank you, Councillor Murphy and Councillor Viney. Councillor Murphy.
Really procedural, Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Viney.
Yes, Mayor, nothing to add, thanks.
Thank you. Any questions from councillors? If not, I'll ask Councillor Murphy to close.
Consider it closed.
Thank you. All those in favour?
Aye.
Aye.
And against? Carried unanimously. Thank you. 3.2 is public question time. 3.2.1 is responses to questions raised at fires. If I could have a mover, please.
So moved.
Councillor Moore, thank you. And a seconder.
Second.
Councillor Murphy. Councillor Moore.
Yes, I'm happy to accept the recommendation. Both questions were answered. One to Mr. Garden about the Julie Burgess and one to Mr. Bellicott about parking.
Thank you. Councillor Murphy.
I concur with Councillor Moore.
Thank you. Any questions from the councillors? Not, I'll ask Councillor Moore to close, please.
Consider it closed, Mayor.
Thank you. All those in favour?
Aye.
And against? Carried unanimously. 3.2.2 is questions on notice from the public. The information is all there. If I could have a mover, please.
So moved.
Councillor Murphy and a seconder.
Second.
Councillor Martin. Thank you. Councillor Murphy.
Thank you, Mayor. The response is there for also.
Thank you. Councillor Martin.
Thank you, Mayor. I have nothing further to add.
Thank you. Any further questions from the councillors? Therefore, Councillor Murphy to close, please.
Consider it closed, Mayor.
Thank you. All those in favour?
Aye.
And against? Carried unanimously. Thank you for that. 3.2.3, questions without notice from the public. There are none. Sorry, bear with me here. In trouble with this. I don't know. That's that one. 2.2.3, questions without notice from the public. I have people in the gallery tonight. If anyone would like to come up and ask a question, they certainly may do so. No movement from the gallery tonight, so we'll keep moving on. 3.3 is questions on notice from councillors. There are none. 3.4 is notice of motions. 3.4.1 is the notice of motion for Councillor Murphy. I'll ask Councillor Murphy, would you like to move that motion?
I would, Mayor.
And seconder, please.
Second.
Councillor Hollister, thank you. Councillor Murphy.
Thank you, Mayor. I will reserve speaking to the motion as all the information is there for my fellow councillors to see, and then I will like to hear what my fellow councillors have to say.
Thank you. Councillor Hollister, sorry.
Yes, I support the motion. It's a no-brainer.
Thank you. Any further comments or questions from the councillors? Councillor Moore?
Yeah, I do support the motion. I just do have a question through you now about it being on the digital screen. Does that impact anything else is my question for the day?
I'm looking to the CEO, as you can tell.
Through you, Mayor. Just means there won't be the ABC News, they'll be the flag.
Yep, thank you. No, I'm in support of the motion.
Thank you. Further comments or questions from the councillors? Councillor Lutchins?
Just that I'm in support of the motion. Should be proud of our flag.
Thank you. Comments from the councillors? Councillor Shane.
Apart from the flag not being on the screen, is there anything else the motion calls for that we weren't doing anyway? Through you, Mayor?
I'll turn on from or broken, which I like to say.
Yes, through you, Mayor. The only thing
Turn you off again.
the only thing would be we've got some smaller I say smaller, like our memorial halls that have flag poles that don't fly flags every day. So we would just put a flag up on those buildings if this motion was passed. There's nothing of any significant cost or concern in that regard.
Thank you. Yeah, I guess the only other point I'd like to make for the record is I was a bit surprised by the motion. I'm a patriot and I love the flag as much as anyone else, but looking at it from a ratepayer's perspective and given the media that I read, the motion was in response to something happening in Victoria. I guess my question would be, how would ratepayers feel about us in the middle of a cost of living crisis, spending time on something that was kind of going to happen anyway? That might be a fairly clinical way of looking at it, but, you know, Councillor Murphy's had media in the paper, we've had council staff spending time on it, this council will have to read it and think about it.
Stacey, if you could bring your voice up a little. Sorry.
How much more do you want me to bring my voice up?
It's coming from the gallery, not me.
Sorry.
Could we speak up? It's hard to hear all of them. Thank you.
I did say that.
I'm speaking as loud as I can, but yeah, that was just my my view on it when I read the motion. I'm sure it wasn't intended to be anything other than well-meaning support for the flag, but I did wonder, after we've just hiked everyone's rates and cost of living is such an issue, and our focus on the city's economic development has got to be steadfast. I did wonder why we needed to drift into more sort of social issues at a local government level. I'm sure Councillor Murphy will have a great response to that, but that was my view, and I feel I'd like to express it. That is it. Thank you.
Thank you. Further comments or questions from the councillors? No, I will ask.
Yes, sorry, ma'am.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry,
I just apologise.
I had
Stop doing a countdown.
I did a quick audit on Saturday. I was down here and went looking for the flag outside the Parramatta Centre, and it's just a bit to the north. It's outside the town hall. Had the Australian flag flying proudly alongside the Tasmanian flag and the Aboriginal flag. Similar questions to Councillor Moore in that, I just thought it was something that we would be doing not only on that day but on most days anyway. I would assume the Australian national flag is flying. I've got no problem with the motion. I had a query as well about, as long as we're not replacing anything, advertising or something, there's a commitment for the loop on the in Market Square there. I mean, most of the time it just seems to be filler anyway. So maybe if it's not just the Australian flag, maybe if we could find, I don't know, something educational about the history, or geez, even a 5 minute short would be more interesting than just the flag staying there the whole day. But yeah, I don't see it as a major issue. I don't think it's going to be a major strain on our resources or cost and time. Personally, I've got no problem with the flag. I think in my lifetime it will probably change because whoever was peddling that Union Jack in the top left corner, they made a fair bit of commission on that design because that is everywhere. So I can see us having something maybe a bit more unique in the future. But for right now, I'm proud to be in support of this motion. Thank you.
Further comments? That's all. Sorry, did you have your line? No. Sorry. If not, I will ask Councillor Murphy to close.
Thank you, Mayor. As I suspected, very enlightening from my fellow councillors, and I thank them for their comments. I suppose, obviously, some of the councillors haven't read the motion. There's a couple of really critical points there in the notice of motion, and that is that council affirms the support for the Australian national flag as the recognised national symbol of our sovereign country, and a unifying emblem of all Australians. That's more important than anything else. And also point 4, the council publicly reaffirm its respect for the flag and what it represents, including through a council media release and public messaging in the lead up to and on the day. Now, going to Councillor Sheen's point around the costs and this, that and the other, I've actually been very humbled by the support that's been given specifically from our business community after the media that it was in the Advocate. And interestingly enough, doing that piece of media when contacted by the Advocate was really interesting, a real eye-opener for me with respect to the journalist who actually questioned the purpose of the notice of motion and how that particular individual was trying to align that to a particular narrative that's in the media at the moment, and whether that was the basis for the motion. And I had to explain to her that it wasn't the basis of the motion, but it does become sickening when you do see that our national emblem, which we should have pride and respect for, being desecrated at a rally that is afforded to those people to express their points of view by the efforts of people who have paid the ultimate sacrifice in defending that right.
Yeah.
And I think when you actually speak to these individuals who interviewed me on that particular day, whatever day it was, Thursday or Friday, you actually start to question whether they have a true understanding. And to your point, Councillor Viney, around history, she didn't even know what the boxing kangaroo flag was. Wasn't born then, knew nothing about when I questioned her with respect to, well, why shouldn't it be the boxing kangaroo flag or the Eureka Stockade flag? Her opinion or her thoughts was that Australia actually has 3 flags. And then I'm questioning, well, why hasn't the Tasmanian Aboriginals got their own flag? The Torres Strait Islanders have got one. It's a very, very devoid argument. I said that is the reason why this country has one flag. Under the Flags Act of 1953, that is what we have. But unfortunately, I think history is not being taught in our schools because people are forgetting who paid the sacrifices to have the freedoms that we have. And yes, I agree. The competition that was held with respect to the design of the current flag, which was endorsed by the first Prime Minister of this country back in 1901, did contain Union Jack. In actual fact, a lot of the soldiers that went to war illegally actually didn't fight under the Australian flag. They fought under the Union Jack. The only Australian flag that was at the Great Wars was the Red Ensign flag, which is the flag that is carried by the Merchant Navy and the Navy itself. So I think the messaging isn't necessarily about flying the flag on that day. The message is that local government is the closest level of government to community. We do things better than the state government, and we do things a lot better at our level in these types of issues from a social aspect, as Councillor Sheen raised, than what state and federal governments do. And to be quite frank, the federal government at this particular point in time is not doing a very good job, specifically when the Prime Minister of this country refuses to stand in front of the Australian flag. Now, you've got to question where we're heading. And when I was a young person in primary school, it was a thing every day. We sang the national anthem at the commencement of every day. You know, the flag flew proudly in the school grounds, and assemblies, it was pride, it was front and centre. Everyone at school had a sense of pride, even though they probably didn't know it, but there was a sense of pride around our national symbol, emblem, the flag. So, I think it's interesting that the focus seems to be on the flying of the flag and not necessarily the messaging behind reaffirming that at this level of government across regional Australia and other parts, that there should be a groundswell of support and pushing a message back to our state and federal counterparts that this is our national symbol. This is something that is important to the community. I had phone calls today from as far away as Wynyard with respect to supporting this notice of motion, which absolutely blew me away. So I'm thankful that my fellow councillors are supportive of the notice of motion. But I would encourage you all to think about the importance of what points 1 and 4 of that motion are. We are one country, unified under one flag. With that, Mayor, I will close the debate.
Thank you. All those in favour?
Aye.
Against? Carried unanimously.
Yeah, well done.
Item 4 is Planning Authority matters. There are none. Item 5 is reports. 5.1 is the Cradle Coast Waste Management Group. If I could have a mover, please.
All right.
Councillor Shannon, a seconder, please.
I'll second it then.
Councillor Murphy. Thank you. Councillor Shane.
Through you, Mayor. Just a quick question regarding the illegal dumping data analysis. I note that in the report it's saying that there'll be education and signage as a strategy to deal with illegal dumping. But I just wanted to note, I know I keep banging on about this, but the best way to stop an increase in dumping is to keep tip rates affordable for households. I had a question, sorry, it was a comment, but the question was, is illegal dumping already collected by the EPA? Because I noticed they're doing a series of advertisements on the back of buses at the moment telling people not to do it, which sort of suggests there was a bit of a problem.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Through you, Matt. Yeah, the EPA are increasing their focus on illegal dumping. There was the Cradle Coast Waste Management Group had a briefing about 2 weeks ago from a representative from the EPA, particularly interested in sort of the larger scale illegal dumping activities. A number of those that have happened around the state, and they've followed those through with prosecutions. And they've got some additional resourcing, so they are having a focus on that.
Thank you. It's great to see that's extending to the waste management is extending to burn and circular as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Murphy.
Yes, Mayor. Very detailed report. Some of the concerns that this is going to have a significant impact on ratepayers in the future, and it's something that the Cradle Coast Authority is doing extremely well in managing. However, I think the big thing that came out of the report for me was whether the education process around what can go into FOGO and what can't go into FOGO, and the potential cost of what that impact's going to have in contaminants in the FOGO bins, and the fact that they are, I think it's a message we need to get out there broadly, is the fact that 3 strikes and you lose your bin. And I think we need to explain the reasons why, because there will be a significant cost a detrimental cost at the facility with respect to if we see a continuation of hazardous or contaminants in our FOGO bins. I think that's something that sort of really stuck out from the report. Thank you.
Thank you. Further comments from the councillors? Councillor Wilczynski.
Thank you, Mayor. I think they're doing a wonderful job, and they've got 21 strategies, I think it was 21 or 22, of trying to educate what to dump where, if you want to put it as dump. And they're trying to manage that. And I think what we've got to do is get the consumer, the person who is dumping, to understand that if everyone did that, where do we end up? And as Councillor Sheehan said, keeping the prices down, but why the prices are high is because everyone is use and abuse their products or what they're buying. So I think the FOGO is a great point, but again, as Councillor Murphy has pointed out, if it's contaminated, then it costs more. So they're doing a great job, but just hope they can do more advertising or make more education for this purpose. Yep, that's it for me.
Thank you. Further comments from the councillors? Councillor Vinings.
Thank you, Mayor. So I think it's great, firstly, that the whole Cradle Coast area with all of the LGAs are now or about to convert and to use FOGO. I think that parity and that argument that, oh, I don't want to use FOGO because this next council's not, or whatever it was for not using it. If everyone is on board, I think that argument becomes void. I still talk to people that say they don't use their FOGO bin, and I think I'm fine with that. I'd rather them not use it and just leave it in the backyard than put whatever they want in it and stuff it up for the whole street with contamination, like Councillor Murphy was talking about. So it's great that we've got all LGAs on side. And even if we are doing those comparisons, I think Devonport still has the bigger bin compared to Latrobe and Central Coast. So obviously looking to either side of our neighbours like Devonport, we still have that slightly higher allocation of what is going to landfill. If we can remove soft plastics out of going to landfill, again, that's great. If we can get more of the commercial FOGO waste being diverted into FOGO rather than going to landfill, that's great. And whenever we talk about our waste, I always sort of reflect back on when we as a council went and did that tour of Dalton a couple of years ago, and it is quite confronting to go out there, and maybe that's what needs to be seen and people can be educated on, is that it's not like this little hole in the ground that gets covered up. Like, these are great big mountains, piles of waste, and it stinks and it gets lifted up and floats off into forests, and it's disgusting. So if we can reduce the amount that's going to that by 30, 40, 50, up to 60%, then everybody should have it in their own best interest, not to do it for themselves, but to do it for the next generation and the generation after that, because it's not sustainable to put great big piles of waste in great big heaps. If we're talking about the dumping, that one gets me as well. And I think I'll put people who litter and throw cigarette butts in the same category. It's just ignorance. Like, I can't let people still drive out in the middle of the bush to drop off a washing machine that they can take to the tip for free. And they don't take to the tip because they're stupid. So again, education is the key. Education is the key. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Further comments from the councillor? Yeah, look, going on further from Councillor Viney saying, there is so much free opportunities. Like, the list here is about, battery recycling, fluoro tube and globe recycling, e-waste, paint, X-ray collections. They're even working on doing blister packs, because that's a real problem. Mobile phone collections. There is so much that's already done that's free. And when we get this new waste transfer station all up and running, and I can't wait till we announce all that, and it's very close. I believe it's imminent. That's going to be great because people can really go through their waste as they arrive at the waste transfer station, and we are reusing then some of the things that they don't want in a better way and a better method, and then that way we're reducing what they're actually bringing and throwing out. So look, the more and more we do it, I've been on council 14 years. We've come a long way in 14 years. I know we're going to keep doing that, and we're going to keep going a long way with all this. The best thing we can do is educate people, try to explain to people what's going on. And yes, I think everybody, every primary school age from grade 3 above, should go to the Dalwerton waste transfer area and see those mountains of rubbish so they understand what it's all about. It's so easy for us to forget what we do. We throw it out and we forget about it. We don't understand what the repercussions are of what is happening to that. But we are getting better at it. I am very, very proud of this Dalwerton, the Cradle Coast Waste Management Group that we've got now, and seeing all these other councils coming on board like they are, the more the merrier, is all I can say. So thank you, and I'll ask Councillor Sheen to close.
Thank you, Mayor. One thing I noticed in closing that wasn't on the report was hard rubbish. In Sydney, they used to have once a year the council would come and collect old couches and chairs, or you just dump on your nature strip. By the time you woke up the next morning, it'd be gone. But I didn't see that on the list. I just wonder if we could maybe sort of look at that down the track. I know we don't make a lot of money from chip shop, but yeah, it's just making it easier for people to get rid of rubbish and not dump it where they shouldn't be. Consider matter close. Thank you.
Thank you. All those in favour?
Aye.
Against? Carries unanimously. Thank you. 5.2 is the health and wellbeing strategy. All the information is there. If I could have a mover, please. Councillor Moore and Councillor Hollister. Councillor Moore.
Yeah, I'm happy to note this report and the progress. When I look through the report, I think the moving well focus has been exceptional. I talk to people in the community all the time. They're doing Tai Chi and a few different things like that. And I think when I look at this summary and the progress that the team on that has done an excellent job. There's lots of people that know about all the different moving well focuses. It'd be good if we could get them more widely advertised, which is probably something I say quite a lot, but just keep spreading the word about that so people can't as often say, oh, I didn't know that was on. I think it was a shame, and I'm hoping to see some progress going forward in the being well. The change of plans for the UTAS Health Training Centre was, I guess, a bit of a blow. I was looking forward to that. I think it could have been great for our city. So hopefully we do find a good alternative within the years of this strategy. And I'm not actually sure who to direct the question to, Mayor, but the eating well, I would just like to know, there's not a lot of detail there, and I was just wondering if somebody could talk to one of the community partnerships in the eating well focus.
It's a movement from Ms. Lumsden.
Through you, Mayor. Thank you, Councillor Moore. I can't provide you any specifics at the moment, but happy to take that on notice and provide that further information to the elected members.
Okay. Thank you. All good. Lovely. Councillor Hollister.
It's the second year strategy for the wellbeing, health and wellbeing strategy. Obviously we're doing a lot of good things and we'll continue to do so and improve on them as we go. Nothing further to add.
Thank you. Further comments from the councillors? Councillor Bolshinsky.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. The eating and planting and understanding, I also would like to have asked about. So the other thing is the 45,000 received from the Tasmanian Community Support, trying to help people at risk from gambling harm. Have we started anything with that yet? And where are we heading with it?
Through you, Mayor. We currently digging the deals of planning for that additional grant funding. Once we've got more of an outline of how we'll deliver that grant, we'll provide that information for elected members.
Thank you. Thank you. Further comments? Councillor Shane.
Thanks, Mel. Just a question. Councillor Moore's already alluded to it, but with the memorandum of understanding with UTAS and the taking it with the Mental Health Council, can I ask how long those have been underway? It just says sort of ongoing discussions. I'm just wondering what the time frame has been to date.
Clarify which actions.
I haven't written down a number. Sorry. So to elaborate, okay, yeah. So there were two programs that are underway. One is a new health training site, memorandum of understanding with UTAS, and the other one is the Take a Minute program with a collaboration with the Mental Health Council. So the question was, both those are ongoing, but how long have they been ongoing for? That information's available.
Mr. Skirling.
Through you, Mayor, can assist with one, the Mental Health Council of Tasmania project. So council entered into an agreement with Mental Health Council of Tasmania in late 2023, December 2023, with an 18 months funded program. So that's close to coming to an end at the moment. And the UTAS partnership agreement involves all the details of that, and we'll share that information with councillors.
Thank you. Okay. Just a quick comment. With the Moving Well strategy, it would be lovely in the future if we could put some funding to get nursing homes involved in that. I did try through my dad's nursing home, but it was suggested to me that I talk to them about providing a bus, and then they had staff shortages and they didn't provide the bus. But I just think it'd be a lovely way to connect people in nursing homes with that program. And just filing very quickly with the health and wellbeing strategy again. One of the aims was to get a well-connected network involving community and organisations. I just want to give a shout out to Devonport Farmers Markets. I think they do that really well, connecting growers with community and promoting health and wellbeing. Thanks.
Okay, thank you. Any comments? I would just say it's just an absolute pleasure to read this report. It's a great update. There's so much been going on. You just forget that this is such an overarching picture of all the things that we do so well, and it's just gratifying to see all these things. Now, of course, there are events are part of that. Oh, of course, this is part of that. We're getting better at it all the time, so I'm really looking forward to seeing what we come up to next. And I saw that we've got some good things coming forward in that list. So certainly looking forward to how that's all going to pan out. And I'm sure that there's going to be others. I know that we've got a few different organisations reaching out to us and are interested in getting some input from us and data collection because of what we're doing. So that's also a bit of a pat on the back to all the staff and all the hard work. So congratulations to everybody. I will ask Councillor Moore to comment.
Thank you, Mayor. I would agree. Congratulations to the team. I actually had the pleasure of being in one of the sessions run by the Mental Health Council with some young people, and the young people left that session just feeling heard, which is a big deal in a young person's life. So congratulations to that team too. Consider it closed, Mayor.
Thank you. All those in favour?
Aye.
And against? Carried unanimously. Thank you for that. 6.6 is information. 6.1 is workshops, briefing sessions held since the last council meeting. If I could just have a move, please. Councillor Varney and a seconder.
Second.
Thank you. Councillor Murphy. Councillor Varney.
Thank you, Mayor. It was a good discussion a couple of weeks ago with some important things that are on the horizon in the city. It was a good discussion on these ones. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Murphy.
I agree with Councillor Varney.
Thank you. Further comments from the councillors? If not, I will ask Councillor Varney to close.
Consider it closed. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. All those in favour?
Aye.
Against? Carried unanimously. 6.2 is the Mayor's monthly report. If I could have a mover, please. Councillor Hollister and a seconder, please.
Second.
Councillor Murphy, Councillor Hollister.
Mayor's been busy as usual.
Sure.
Meeting, I think. Very right.
Oh,
Meeting with Thames Water was their strategy, anything to do with land increases from Thames Water.
it was just a briefing from Water that we've been waiting on, because they'd kind of done their media release and hadn't really given us the briefing before that. The CEO would also come into it. There was three options for us to go to them. They were just online, and it was just more an update on that media release that they put out.
And also the land use strategy meeting. I don't know if you both went to that, or it was just the GM. Yeah,
Land use strategy, me.
land use strategy meeting.
I go. I don't think that's in that list.
What I want to
I'm
know,
sorry if it's in the list, but I don't think I went to
are
that.
there any moves to bring up some of the land?
Is that to the CEO though? We can do him next.
Yeah, unless you were there as well.
I don't.
Doesn't matter.
Is that in the list? Have you seen it in my list?
I'll see it in one of this.
Okay, I would like to say that it's in the GM's list, not
Yeah.
mine.
Right.
Okay, we'll get to that.
Yeah.
Hold that thought. Thank you. Sorry, Councillor Murphy.
Yes, Mayor, I agree with the first part of Councillor Hollister's statement. Yes, you have been very busy tonight.
Thank you. Any further questions from the councillors? Councillor Shan?
Yeah, quick one. Could you talk to the productivity roundtable with Senator Burkhart?
You came too. Thank you very much.
That I came to.
Sorry, I was
not
mentioning
mentioning
there.
too. Thank you.
That's all right. I do appreciate you being there.
If you're able to talk about some of the key things, I just thought it was quite a good one around, particularly around. I'll share the bit I found most interesting.
That might be better.
Quite a few people mentioned affordable housing, modular housing.
Yes.
Housing, but particular focus, thank you, particular focus on modular housing, partnerships between traditional builders and advanced manufacturing sector. I was just quite happily surprised that was coming up in a few pockets.
Absolutely. I'm sorry, you caught me a little bit unawares. I know that Senator Burkhart sent us a great summary as well, and I agreed with everything that was in it. I'd have to go back and have a look at it.
No.
But I don't know if our councillors got that summary. We might make sure that we share it if we didn't share it. No, there you go. We did send a summary out for everyone to have a look at. And look, if anyone's got any questions further about that, please don't hesitate. I can fill you in more. Thank you. Further questions at all from the council?
Just a comment, Mayor. I think you had something to do with getting the Spirit to dock out. Did you? Well, if you did, congratulations, because there were so many people on the foreshore. It was really amazing.
Well, thank you. I couldn't have been a prouder person about all those people from Devonport. We had traffic jams, we had parking problems, but everyone had a smile on their face. Even the police that came down to look after us at one stage. Premier was extremely happy up at the Bluff. And in spite of the cold, I think Councillor Hollister, you were out on the Julie Burgess. That would have been magic. And thank you for the invite. We were offered to all go to that, but I needed to be on the ground. But I'm sure you had a magic view from there. I got to speak to the board member on the ship, and he was extremely excited about how many people he could see from the ship. And it was impressive. Who cares about the weather? It didn't matter. We know people will turn out regardless of weather. We've proven that point. And I think it got people excited for what's coming. And watch this space. When she does finally arrive into that river, we're going to have a big event.
Planning a party.
I think I'm planning a party. And I think we'll all be invited and we'll all have input and it'll be amazing. So thank you. Any further comments or questions from the Mayor's monthly report? If not, I will ask Councillor Hollister to close.
To close.
Thank you. All those in favour?
Aye.
And against? Carried unanimously. 6.3 is the CEO's report. If I could have a mover, please. Moved. Councillor Shan, and a seconder, please. Second. Councillor Viney. Councillor Shan.
Thanks, Mayor. It's all in the report. I'd like to just make a special note of 2.2, where the CEO presented at the Chamber of Commerce breakfast. It was outstanding. And I thought it's always a good sign when people at the event ask for a copy of your slideshow to take home to their, or take back to work to their staff. The pride in the city was palpable. I thought it was a flawless presentation that really nailed how far we've come, and more importantly, what's happening over the next couple of years. And when you compare it to other councils around the state, we are just streets ahead with our capital works program and a lot of sort of economic development on the horizon. So well done. It's a good job.
Thank you. Further comments? Oh no, so Councillor Morris.
Yes, I've seconded. Thank you, Mayor. It's great to see the Jack Jumpers announcement with the WNBL licence being extended to Tassie, and with a commitment to play a number of those games in Devonport. I think that's a real feather in the cap of the city that these things are on the horizon, and there's a bit of build it and they will come about that. So that was really good to see. I'm excited about that team spending time, no doubt, with clinics and having a presence in the city ongoing. A question though, or maybe an update, or more of an update. Item 2.4, where you've met with TT Line, specifically with the port redevelopment. Are we on track?
Yeah, through you, Mayor. You had the opportunity week before last to go over on site and you had a tour with Paul Kirkwood, who's the director of the project, and he's confident that things are progressing well and comfortable with where they're up to, and still committed to the dates that the state government have promoted in regard to the new spirit coming in.
Fantastic that we've got the new ships coming. It'd be even better if we've got somewhere to park up. Thank you.
Thank you. Further comments or questions from the councillors? Councillor Matthew.
I'm not too sure whether this might be follow up from Councillor Hollister's earlier question with respect to any update with respect to how the steering committee is going with the regional land use strategy, and is there any update on a potential completion date of that strategy, or something for us to look at?
So through you, Mayor, there's been, with the government in caretaker mode, there has been I guess it stalled a little bit, the project. It was on track for the sort of the first quarter next year was what the aim was, to have the regional strategy developed. Through the election campaign, there was some different election commitments made around changing the potentially bringing it more in-house by the state government and a few things like that. Still uncertain on where the government's going to go with that. As you're aware, the planning portfolio has moved from Minister Ellis to now it's with Minister Kerry Vincent, and the chairs of the two regional steering committees in the north, so the northern chair and the northwest chair, which in our case is Mayor Cheryl Fuller, have reached out to the new minister and are looking to meet and just discuss if there is any change to the process or whether it's business as usual. And we haven't yet had an update on when that might be.
Just a follow-up question with respect to Mayor Fuller being in that role. Is it appropriate for the Mayor to actually continue in that role, considering she stood as a candidate in the state election for the Labor Party?
Through you, Mayor, it's not a question that I can answer.
Should that one then go to the Mayor?
So
I'd suggest, Mayor, it's probably one we talk about offline.
yeah, if you want.
Yeah, I think just bringing the appropriateness of her in that position, considering.
Thank you. Councillor Hollister, did you have further questions in regards to that?
Thanks for planning one. Does our state planning or even our own city planning allow for tiny homes on small blocks. And I know we've got all those units over east where the backpackers go and they've got a communal kitchen and all that sort of stuff. So the cost of housing now, and a lot of people are going to struggle to ever get into a home. Can people build, say, a tiny home in Devonport, or can they build, when you say have half a dozen units side by side, probably a bit like that, but far into Love Street. But does our planning system allow such a
Ms. Lunsford. Through you, Mayor. Under the planning scheme, there are a number of options available to people. It's a very difficult question to answer a yes or no to because zoning and a lot of other things come into play, but there's certainly permit pathways available for people, yes.
And furthermore, do we need to change some of the local government act to allow a lot of this to happen?
Through you, Mayor, I'm not quite sure what you're alluding to, Councillor Hollister.
Maybe to building regulations. I know years ago we didn't like having 2 units on one block. Now you can do only off.
Yeah, through you, Mayor. Very, very heated question to be able to answer on notice. I guess if you've got a specific example, more than happy for our officers to assist you with that. We've certainly got examples in the city where people have been able to and built tiny homes, various things that you're referring to. So I'm not sure that the rules as they stand prevent people completely. But like anything in the regulatory, the devil's in the details. So if you've got a specific example, more than happy to answer that offline.
Yeah. No problem. Any further questions from the council? If not, we'll ask Councillor Shane to close.
Councillor Murphy's going to talk about the new rapid rezoning policy there for a minute, but we might cover that next time. Consider it closed. Thank you.
Thank you. All those in favour?
Aye.
Against? Carried unanimously. 6.4 is the monthly operational report, and just to welcome Kate Riley to the Devonport City Council, our new Community Services Manager. So congratulations on the role, and lovely to have you on board. Nice to see you here. Thank you. If I could have a mover of the report, please.
I move.
Councillor Hollister, and a seconder, please. Second. Councillor Wilczynski, thank you. Councillor Hollister, you need to have your light on. Thank you.
The usual very comprehensive report. Couple of questions. The entry to the Swaden Hall, I noticed it's been painted. It looks fantastic. I don't know if the rest of the place has been done.
Another question. Yes.
We can take that on through the mayor. We can take that on notice and find out if there's any further painting to occur.
Photos in the agenda look pretty good. Probably the first painting it's had for a long time, I say. Yeah, that's the main one I wanted to question. So,
Thank you. Councillor Wilczynski.
I don't have any questions. I was just waiting for
Yes.
Councillor Viney to hop in with all his questions. So I just thought I should second it so he has a chance to roll.
Well, there you go. Thank you so much for that, Councillor Wilczynski. Any further comments or questions from the councillor? Councillor Moore.
Yeah, just congratulations. Music on the waterfront this year was fabulous. It was funny. It said that last year was for 4,000, this year was 5,000. It seemed like there were so many more people there this year. So congratulations to that team. It was a really, a pretty good night. And I do think it goes straight back to the Living Well strategy. It does make the community feel connected when council does run some of those things when possible. So well done. I think we all read this report really well because there wasn't so much on the agenda tonight. The customer satisfaction, I just have a question about that. I'm just trying to find the page number. It is 5.4. I'm just wondering, so There seems to be quite a big discrepancy between telephone calls and counter Paranacle people and the email in terms of there's 1,700 people that the customer sentiment is just neutral. Well, if they come into the council, you have a much higher satisfaction rate. I'm just wondering, is it because lots of those telephone calls are just then put through to someone else, or why is there such a discrepancy in customer satisfaction between telephone, in person and email? I don't know who I'm asking.
You're going this one now, Mr. Griffin.
Yeah, it's reading there. The reason there's that discrepancy is that the customer sentiment solution that we use captures every single phone call that comes in to council and transcribes the call. And it assigns a sentiment, 1 to 7 sentiments throughout the term of the conversation. Whereas with emails, it's up to the individual to elect to click on the email. And the kiosk out front, it's up to the individual to elect to click on that. But they'll provide a little bit more detail. The solution that we're using, the software solution, is actually capturing every single phone call and assigning a sentiment. So they typically fit in that neutral category, which is actually a good result.
So just so I'm right, so people don't select how they feel after a telephone call.
No, they
The
don't.
transcription informs the software.
Correct. It's using artificial intelligence to capture that data.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Well done. Thank you. Any further questions from the councillors? Councillor Murphy.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. Really interesting. The Deputy Mayor and Councillor Shane raised earlier with respect to the cost impacts of my notice of motion earlier. Interestingly, note in this month's report that we're doing okay financially, and if there was any concern with respect to the cost of living crisis and the fact that we've just hiked up rates, considering that actual budget revenue is $352,000 higher than actual expenses being lower by $620,000, resulting in an overall favourable variance of $1.67 million. So I'm reasonably confident that we can sort of, we may need to focus on more high level and strategic issues around the budget than some other low hanging fruit.
Thank you. Any further comments or questions from anyone else? Councillor Bidey.
Thank you, man. I just wanted to give everybody else an opportunity to speak to this report. So I'm a bit ashamed, actually. I was looking for what I wanted to talk about and realised it's going to go on next month, but I'm going to talk to it anyway because it was last week, and again, a proud moment for not only someone who represents the council but also lives in Devonport, that we were able to welcome Dr. Carl from Triple J to give two talks, and I got to go to both of them. I went with my school during the day, and I believe that one was sponsored by the council. So I guess thanks to us, and the students certainly enjoyed it. It was good for me as well to listen to someone so passionate about science that talks at 1,000,000 miles an hour. Like, he was like a machine gun talking. And then that was a reference point to the kids to say, look, maybe I don't talk so fast like that. That was next level. They certainly got a lot out of it. And then in the evening, coming back, it was sold out event, I believe, on Friday. And that was going up against the town hall, the St Brendan Shaw College musical of Clueless was also on. So unfortunately, I couldn't go to that. Did you go to that? Yeah?
I went to Dr. Carl.
Okay, yeah, Dr. Carl as well. So brilliant, but just a really good atmosphere. Again, coming down here, Market Square, two events going on, seamless parking, no issues getting in and out. Obviously, I turned up 5 minutes before it started, and there was no problem. Frankie J's looked to be doing a good trade. Like, there was a really good vibe. And yes, I think it was worth mentioning, and I'll probably mention it again next month as well. So I also want to mention the music events that were successful last month. No one mentioned the jazz, but again, another successful jazz festival. And looking on the horizon for the next events coming up, next month, we've got the Expo of Everything on the 20th of September. And then hopefully without any rain on the 12th of October, the Spring Fling, which I've noticed the advertising for that's already started. So going on, what was the waterfront event called in July?
Music on the waterfront.
Makes sense. Music on the waterfront. I think we'll see some momentum with the Spring Fling, and hopefully we get, what did you say, 5, 6, 10, 20,000 people down there on October 12th.
No, do we need more
10.
toilets?
Thank you, Matt.
Thank you. Any further comments or questions from the councillor? Oh,
Sorry, welcome, Kate, as well.
no. Nice. All right, I will therefore ask councillor Hollister to close.
In closing, just a question on the parking revenue. Seems to be down. Is that a sign of the economic climate at the moment? Seems to be a lot of the areas are well down on parking revenue.
Where's Lon?
Through you, Mayor, if you just have a look at the bottom of the graph, Councillor Hollister, there's a asterisk that gives you an indication that it's actually due to the timing of the report. That's why it comes through as a bit different. Yeah.
All
That's
good?
consider close.
Thank you. All those in favour?
Aye.
Against? Carried unanimously. Moving into the closed session, if I could have a mover,
So moved.
please. Councillor Viney and a seconder.
Second,
Councillor Murphy. Councillor Viney.
Procedural, thank you, Matt.
Thank you. Councillor Murphy.
yet again concur with councillor Viney, man.
Thank you. All those in, any comments or questions? If not, I will ask councillor Viney to close.
Consider it closed, Matt.
Thank you. All those in favour?
Aye.
Against? Carried unanimously. Thank you. We'll move on into our closed session in a moment. Thank you very much. And thank you for those attending from the gallery.